Hi, my name is Chris and this is another update on the Supernote A6X. I just want to talk about my experience again so far. I use it primarily for my main YouTube channel, Hello from Hawaii. I use it for scripts, for ideas, for outlining, just general organization. And this device has been really great. But there are some things that I want to talk about, again, having used this device for a while now, and I thought that it might be interesting for anyone who's thinking about buying this device. So the first thing I want to mention is the best pen thickness. Now, this device comes with various pen thicknesses and pen types. Right now, I think it's 3. I've been trying to figure out which one is the best one for me. When I first got the device, I was testing out like what the thickness looked like on the page, which one I liked. To me, they all look generally the same. They're all, to me, equally responsive. There's the, I guess, regular pen. There's almost like a sensitive pen where if you push at different angles or like a different like pressure, it makes it thicker or not. And then there's like a highlighter or like a thick black marker. Because I primarily use this for writing and writing only, I'm not drawing or highlighting anything, I pretty much just stuck to the standard pen. And I'm not a stickler for like certain thicknesses of what the pen should look like. Like in real life, I just use whatever pen there is, ballpoint or whatever. It really doesn't matter to me. I don't have like a personal preference. So the default is the 0.3 millimeter, which is nice. And I've been pretty much just using that. I thought about the 0.1 millimeter, but it just was way too thin. And even the 1 millimeter was way too thick. So I think the 0.3 is perfect for me. I haven't messed with like the in-between settings. You can make like custom thicknesses, but for me, the 0.3 is absolutely fine. The next thing is the overview feature, which, you know, as I'm exploring more of the menus, I'm kind of just accidentally hitting some of these buttons. I'm like, oh, what is this feature? And when I found the overview feature, I thought, oh, this is kind of nice. So if you're not familiar with the overview feature, it creates sort of like a thumbnail, hopefully you can see that, grid of what the pages look like in one particular note. And you can do like a 6 grid or even a larger grid. I think the one I currently have can go up to 12. What's nice about this is that just at a quick glance, you're able to see all of the pages within one particular like notebook or note. And I found this feature very useful for me, especially as I'm starting to accumulate more and more pages in each note. And so being able to look at a lot of pages at once and be able to just quickly select and go back without having to like basically thumb through it is really nice. So it's a feature that I'm using more that I didn't in the beginning, and it's just an easy way to get around. It's a huge advantage over your standard typical paper notebook where there's no way you can, there's no like thumbnail table of context that you can just look at a glance and then just push one button and you're at that page. The third thing I noticed is my handwriting is getting terrible. Maybe it's just me. I don't know if anyone else experienced this who has one of these devices. But my handwriting has gotten worse as I've used this device. Because typically when I write, my penmanship is pretty neat for the first maybe minute or 2 of just straight writing. But once you get into like minute 3 and beyond, it's like a free-for-all. It starts to get slanted. I start making shortcuts. I'm starting to like combine like shorthand and like, you know, script, and it becomes almost illegible to most people. So one of the things that I need to practice and just be conscious of is making sure that I'm writing neater for longer. Maybe that means taking a break or resting a little bit more so that my hand can rest and then I don't get sloppy. But I notice that the longer I write, the sloppier I get. And maybe that's just natural as, you know, your hand gets tired. But on this particular device, I need to be very careful that that doesn't become my normal handwriting. So just something that I noticed, my handwriting is not very neat, and particularly on this device, it's not neat. Maybe I think it's just, oh, it's just because it's a device, it's not paper and pen. I can always erase it, right? But I want to make sure that I'm just aware of that. And the last thing I want to mention is maybe potentially going back to using titles. I mentioned in the previous video that I didn't find that feature very useful. I tried it and I was like, it's not really for me. But as my notes are getting longer, having more pages again, it's nice to be able to quickly go to certain parts. Now I could use the overview feature, which is great. And I've labeled the top of the documents with what that particular page is. So at a glance from the overview feature, I can see exactly what is what. But there may come a time where even the overview feature is way too much. It's just not gonna get me to certain places fast enough. And so I'm thinking about going back to titles. I'm using them again in a very short way, just to kind of see, just to have as a backup. I don't like the fact that the titles make this like diagonal line on it. I think it looks terrible. Again, I understand that like that's to like select the title. I don't particularly like it. I wish it was a little bit different. I wish it was either cleaner or not there at all. But I understand, you know, this is just how it is. So I'm gonna try going back to using titles again just for organization purposes, but I don't know. We'll see. So those are just my running thoughts as I continue to use the Supernote device. I really like it. I use it every single day for note-taking and scripts and things like that. I'm really happy with this device, and I hope that everyone who buys something like this is happy with what they have and that they can find ways that they can use it in their workflow. So thanks for watching.